Welcome, guys. This is D Durrell with the Conscious Clientele. Happy to be here once again today. I am basically chilling right now in my car, taking a bit of a break. Decided to give you all just have a dialogue with you all for a little bit. Just decided to come in and have a talk with you all. What's up, Remix? Way Life God? What's up, man? What's up? Appreciate you coming in. I'm going to have a short discussion with you all. It's going to be about 45 minutes. I decided to go ahead and have a short little discussion um, and get back to talking about a variety of different topics and so on. So today I'm going to talk about, as a therapist, as a professional, and because I am a married man, I'm a man that has been in a relationship um, for like almost 28 years with the person that I'm with. I've been married um, for now, since almost 17 years. And I'm baffled at it appears to me when I listen to the Manosphere, when I listen to the different sectors, I am baffled at the ignorance, the immaturity that presents itself on Black YouTube that evolves around relationships. And what gets me is that the people who had the least amount of success with relationships are the ones who talk the most shit. Let me repeat that. The people who have the least, and I mean the least, the people who have the least amount of success talk the most. Seriously. We now have, I see 21, 22, 23-year olds trying to tell people 10, 20 years older than them how to function in a relationship. The manosphere has sectors where you got 26-year-old women, 25-year-old women and men telling grown ass, fully grown men how they supposed to react towards females. This is facts. As I encompass upon many of these channels, a lot of the rhetoric and advice is rooted in hate, is rooted in revenge, is rooted in exploitation, and it's just some of it just downright stupidity. And sometimes I listen just to see if somebody's gonna say something that's to me somewhat conducive to applying in real life. Very few times I hear that. Very few times. What's up, Casey? I'm sitting here like, baby girl, you 22 years old. You probably had one or two, maybe three, what you would consider serious relationship for that age. You see, your sexual activity has nothing to do with your immaturity in relationships. What's up, Casey? Appreciate you for coming in. And see, we tend to somewhat mesh the two together and confuse that. Just because you had been having sex since you was 14 and you 24, that don't mean you're mature in relationships. That just means you've been sexually active earlier than what you should be as a young lady and or a young man. What's up, Red Pill Finance? I'm sitting here listening to this stuff. You got people talking about, you know, what I ain't gonna do, what the woman's supposed to do, what the man's supposed to do. If you don't do this, I'm finding reasons to leave a man. I'm like, why are you dating? Why would you date to only look for a reason to break up with someone? Doesn't that sound somewhat um I don't even know what the word to say. Self-defeating. That's a self-defeating attitude. You're dating, and while you're dating, you're finding a reason to leave them alone. Why are you dating? And I'm looking at all the pill sectors. Red pill sector, black pill sector, blue pill sector, pink pill sector, divestment sector. They all have the same shit in common. They don't know what the hell they talking about, and they're giving bad advice that younger people are accepting. Red Pill Finance says, I understand the dynamic now is chaotic. The dynamic on YouTube is chaotic. But I'm saying to myself, do people wake up in the morning, they get up and go on YouTube to go on YouTube just to do horrible things, just to say horrible things? Seriously, or just to say things that, just to say things to weigh out their frustrations. Red Pill Finance said, I give bad advice. Name one time I gave bad. I don't give bad advice because, be honest with you, I rarely give advice. I give options. You choose what you want to do. So please let me know the bad advice that I don't give bad advice the few times that I do. But if I've given bad advice, please give me examples of that bad advice and also highlight when somebody applied my advice and they had a negative All right, guys, I'm back, guys. I apologize. Hope y'all can hear me now. I had some issues, but I'm back, so I'm able to talk now. So what's up? I see Black Einstein Productions in the house. Shout out to Donna, Boris Lemieux, and also Renaissance Man. Hope y'all can hear and see me. I'm good. I had a bit of a glitch, so I'm back. So again, as I told Red Pill Finance said I give bad advice. I told him if he can give me examples of that, please let me know. I want to know what I say that was bad advice. So, so basically, guys, I'm just hearing people, man. The advice that these people give that's not applicable, is not applicable to anything productive. Now, some of the stuff entertaining, is some of it used for shock value? Yes. But as far as it's something you trying to apply to for real life, hell no. Renaissance Man says, what's up? This topic could apply to other things too. Broke people trying to give financial advice, people with bad kids giving parenting advice, and the list goes on and on. That's correct. There are people who have not shown a proficiency in the areas that they're teaching. And the minute somebody like myself who has a track record of saving marriages, a track record of putting families back together, a track record of helping long-term relationships, then you want to sit there and tell me I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I sound like a simp. Just the most idiotic statements. And then you got people sitting there listening to this crap. The bottom line, you have people talking about stuff that they have no business talking about. Donna Randolph said, I concluded that these men and women are mentally and emotionally unstable, even the so-called high value ones. The bottom line, Donna, is that there are really not a lot of high value men or women in this sector. Oh, Lord. And I'm going to get the red pill statement because I had a feeling he was going to bring this up. Listen to social justice warriors stand up. With due respect, Godfather, you gave bad advice when it comes to, no, I don't. No, I do not. Stop it. Stop. I don't. Name me the bad advice that I gave you all about Umar Johnson. I'm talking about relationships. You want to bring it about me, about somebody supporting or not supporting somebody. See, I expected somebody to try to move the goalpost. Let's deal with the topic. So Red Pill Finance said, do you want men taking the role of stepdad? You see, this is another YouTube idiotic subject that's not even worth talking about. But since it's worth it, Red Pill Finance, when have black men stopped becoming stepfathers? What's up, Slender God? What's up, Slender God? Red Pill Finance, tell me when black men no longer took on that role. Yes, I feel that black men who should become stepfathers if they're in the right situation. There's nothing wrong with being a stepfather. The bottom line, the chances of you now, would I advise that for younger men? No. Matter of fact, I would not advise any man under the age of 27, 28 to become a stepfather. I think that younger men are not mature enough to be stepfathers. I think younger men who don't have any children of their own. Number one, there needs to be qualifications. Matter of fact, I just thought of a good topic to talk about again. I'm gonna talk about the qualifications of black men to want to marry a woman with no children. Because one of the first things is that you can't be a man with children, but don't want to become a stepfather. If you have a child and you're single, how can you want something you can't provide to your partner? Please explain that, Red Pill. How can you want a woman to only have your children when you already have children? How can you detest the fact of being a stepfather, but if a woman marries you, she becomes a stepmother? Please explain that, Red Pill Finance. Double standards are only okay if you're operating from a position of strength. You can't be at the podium, at the lowest of the totem pole, claiming double standards. You have to have something. You have to have a certain level, a certain value to have that double standard. Women are willing to take some double standards if you're a man of value. If you ain't a man of value, you can't have double standards. You can't be living at your mama house wanting double standards. You have to have a certain level of functionality. Social justice item by Umar is the topic. He's robbing the community in the name of black boys. Sure he is. If that's what you want to believe, social justice warrior, I'm not arguing with you on that. Look, I've been arguing with y'all ass for this for over 2 to 3 years. What more do you want from me? You want me to yell and curse at you, social justice warrior? Stand up. If that's what you want to believe, go ahead. I can't change your mind. If I ain't changed your mind by now, I mean, you see how irrational you are? How could a man who spent damn near, who spent over $400,000 for a building, plus taxes and everything, scam the community? Why would he rob? How can you rob the community by spending money on things to develop the school that you have been protesting to open up for years? If I'm robbing the community, I'm not spending money on taxes. I'm not spending money on a building. Unadulterated truth says my sons are grown. When I got remarried, I didn't want a childless woman who would want kids later on and resent me if I was of a different place in my life. Exactly, unadulterated truth. There's nothing wrong with stepfatherhood. There's nothing wrong with stepfatherhood if you, the Manosphere and Red Pill, complain about single motherhood. You cannot complain about single motherhood, but then be upset, but then don't want to take on women to marry that have children, particularly if most of you already have your own goddamn children. The only men that should be talking about I don't want to be a stepfather are men who have already raised their children, just like unadulterated truth, and men who have no children. Men who don't have children. Social justice talking about Umar. The topic is not about Umar social justice stand up, but I'm giving you the time of the day right now. Listen, man, no one said it was his money. What's up, Ghost? What's up, Rollo? And then let me talk about this. I saw a video by Rollo. Check him out. What the hell up? See, you got goofy ass Negroes like Solo 84 TV talking about vasectomies and shit. People up here now trying to advertise vasectomies. I was watching Rollo, What the Hell Up, and he was talking about this. I saw that shit this morning, Rollo. I'm like, what the hell? See, that's the kind of incel-like behavior. You're trying to tell men to sterilize themselves? What kind of shit is that? What's up, T-Free? You're telling men, see, this is the anti-family, the anti-family, the anti-black community, anti-stepfather, but you claim you want a better black, you want a better black woman. You want a better black community. You got old fat, chunky ass Minnesota sliding ass Solo 84 TV talking about vasectomy. Negro, you are a vasectomy. You don't need no vasectomy. Nobody trying to fuck you. Nigga tried to put on a suit and still look sloppy. When everybody was trying to put on a suit and fucking trying to be like Kevin Samuels and shit, the nigga had on a gray suit looking all sloppy and shit. Nigga, you are a vasectomy in itself. Nobody checking for you like that. You acting like you got a parade of women running around you and shit. Like you don't need no damn. You got fucking unused condoms and shit. Sit your ass down. And how old is Solo 84 TV anyway? This nigga, Solo 84 TV gotta be he about the age. I want to say Solo gotta be in his mid-30s. Solo 84 TV gotta be about 35 years old. I don't know. Rollo can tell me. Solo 84 TV been in this space for damn near 7-8 years. How in the hell, as a black man, you can tell other black men to stop reproducing? Rollo said he was scared when alpha scammers pulled on him because that's the kind of guy he is. On his own show, probably. So Red Pill Finance saying, since you paid and so pro-black, why don't you add a few more players to your roster? I'm a married man, Red Pill Finance. You already know I'm paid. Yes, I am paid. I'm secure and I'm pro-black. You already saw the receipts. I don't need more issues. I'm good where I'm at in my life. I'm a married man. You see the ring on my finger? What I look like? I can't make $1 million mistakes. Are you serious? Can't make $1 million mistakes. I'm not, look, for those that want to engage in polyamorous and polygamous and type relationships, more power to you. That's just not my value system, Red Pill Finance. I'm not into that. That's not what I'm into, brother. You know, everybody can't do that. Matter of fact, most of the guys, particularly a lot of them Hebrew Israelites, they can't even afford to have polygamous relationships. They trying to have polyamorous and polygamous relationships, 2 and 3 women. And in all actuality, they trying to exploit and pimp the women to make all the money. Renaissance Man says, D. Darrell, do you have stepkids? Just curious. No, I don't. I've only impregnated one woman in my life. I have one woman that has 3 children for me. That's all I have. I know that's not prevalent in our community to have a black man only impregnate one woman in his life, and all 3 of his children are for one woman. I don't have 2 children. I don't have a chick that's popping out kids that nobody know about. No, D. Darrell has 3 children. Will not have any more children. 2 of my children are grown. One of my children that you all saw is 15 years old. My son. That's it. D. Darrell practice self-control. D. Darrell loves sex just like any other man, but I'm not going to just be reckless with it. Red Pill said, so why didn't you take on the stepdaddy role since you think it's sweet? I never said it was sweet, Red Pill Finance. But what I am advising black men, if you're with a good black woman who's handling her own and is a good mother, and that child can benefit from the presence of a black man like yourself, that many of you claim you got such high agency and so forth, why not benefit and create a strong black family when you have the opportunity? Again, if you're a man with no children, you have the right to feel entitled to that. Now, I'm going to say it happens, but if you feel you're entitled to that, that's fine. However, if you're a man with children, you can't say no bullshit about I don't want to be a stepfather. You cannot say no bullshit about, you can never come out of your mouth, well, damn, I gotta take care of your kids. They'll never love me. But what about your children? She gonna cook for your children. She gonna go shopping for your children. She gonna comb your daughter's hair. She gotta give them advice, love, care, support them just the same. Right, we need to normalize. See, we want to normalize dysfunction because the black community doesn't want to change. The black community loves fuckery. The black community always want to do fuck shit and then tell other people, ain't nothing wrong with it. But then you complain about why the black community is in the position it's in. You cannot continue to want the fuck shit, want the dysfunction in the family, and then you're mad talking about I can't find a good man. Well, the reason why you can't find a good man because there's a large percentage of black men growing up in dysfunction. The reason why a lot of black men complain about not finding a good black woman is because there's a lack of strong family structure that produces good women. Be a part of the solution, not the problem. Renaissance Man saying, that's great. Was just curious because you mentioned daughters the other day and I had only heard your son to this point. Yeah, I have two daughters. I have two older daughters. I have a 23-year-old and I have a 20-year-old. I have 3 children for 1 woman. I don't have 3 children for 3 different women. I don't have child support. Okay? I would never impregnate a woman and not offer marriage. Whether I loved her or not. Because marriage is not always about love. Marriage is also sometimes about doing the right thing for other people, and hopefully through that process, you can gain that if you're looking out for each other's best interests. Because that's the problem. What you don't hear in today's dating world, in the dating advice, it's always about what you expect somebody to give you. But I don't hear people telling me what they're willing to give to somebody else. So I want to know, people like Red Pill Finance, if you was dating T Pre, what you're going to offer T Pre? That what you're going to get from T Pre. See, that's the mindset, the selfishness of our community. What's up, HM? We're always looking at what I can take from somebody, what they're going to offer me. But you're not talking about what you're going to give. Like, I can be myself, me as a person. I want to give my fabulous self to somebody to enjoy. I want somebody to reap the benefits of a great asset I am to them. But what we have is people that want people to give them things that they can't give themselves. What we want are people to, in some way, make you look better than what you look by yourself. What we want is people to provide resources and all types of things that we can't do for ourselves. That's why you have people like the divestment community and Pink Pill who are willing to date
men of other races outside of being black, outside of black men, and they shit on the black men in their community. Damn, they shit on the black men in their community, and they understand in order to be in pink pill and divestment community, to increase your chances, you have to date multiple. Everybody's looking for some shit instead of trying to provide something for themselves so that they can, because like-minded people are going to attract each other. Successful people travel in successful areas. You cannot be unsuccessful in a successful environment. The reason why a lot of this shit is so foreign to me and fucked up is because I don't travel in unsuccessful environments. I don't hear black men talk. I don't deal with black men who have money problems. I don't talk to many black men that don't even own their own businesses. I don't deal with black men. Many of the black men I know are married or have been married and they're family minded. I don't deal with black men who are incels. I don't deal with black men who were not stepfathers or who are currently operating as a stepfather. These are facts. These are the facts. And then when somebody of sense comes on a panel and tell these fools what they're saying is dumb and stupid, they want to call you a simp. Like, you calling me a fucking simp is going to hurt my feelings. I know damn well that if we traded places, you'd be more willing to trade places with me than I'm willing to trade places with you. The discouragement of marriage, but you want a better black community. The discouragement of fatherhood, but you want a black community. But you quote the statistics incorrectly about how black women chose feminism, and that's why we don't have high marriage rates in the United States. But you want to talk about pump and dump, and what's his name, Ramil, the pump and dump chump, by the way, bringing that shit up just to make money. But you want to turn around, be on X videos making Coco Kitties, whatever the hell the goddamn videos, and with sloppy, dirty, meth head looking women. These are facts. Shakamra, I'm gonna say this. Do I believe in spiritual marriage? No, I don't. But do I believe in spiritual marriage with the legal documentation? Yes, I do. The reason why I don't believe in spiritual marriage, Shakamra, is because when you look at the unity between a family, at the end of the day, it comes down to uh, finances, legacy, and the transfer of the transfer of wealth. At the end of the day, when you're no longer here, as a father, my most important thing that I think about right now is my legacy. My son has my name. He has my legacy. Okay? My dad gave me his name. I have his legacy. When my dad is no longer, my dad's 83, getting ready to make 84 this week on Friday. When he's no longer here, it is incumbent upon me as his son, carrying his name, to maintain the things that he worked his whole life for. When I'm no longer here, I want to do that in the context of a legal marriage. I'm legally committing myself to my wife and providing an environment where my children understand that we are legally bind together. Not no spiritual shit. Nothing wrong with being spiritual. But the bottom line is that marriage encompasses wealth building. Wealth building is legal. I don't want to mix that up. So when I'm no longer here, my legacy is going to end up being legal anyway. So to me, I'm not negative about spiritual marriage, but spiritual marriage deter away from accountability. Look at Lynn and Honor. Lynn and Honor is an example of what spiritual marriages produce. Spiritual marriages of which you failed to commit. You got all these fucking kids out of wedlock, and you're begging YouTube for money. That's what spiritual marriages build. I said that Finance said you made good points. I want a healthy black family as well. You said this environment isn't suited for that. What environment? You mean the environment on YouTube? The environment on YouTube does not, it doesn't support black families. They don't value it. Renaissance man, everybody know Ramil did porn. Come on, man. Ramil admitted to being a porn star. Ramil got videos on X video, fucking crackhead and meth head looking ass women, dirty looking women that he paid $100 to $200 to do those porn videos with. I think it's called Coco Kitties or something like that, whatever it is. That came out last year. Renaissance, you late. T. Priest states, I always say somewhere in a feminist life is or was a failed patriarchy. Right? To me, is this. This is how I look at patriarchy and matriarchy. What's up, Photon DNA? I look at it from this perspective. There are African communities that are matriarchal. Not many. There are some. Shaka Zulu came from a matriarchal culture. There are West African cultures that have a matriarchal culture, and they have patriarchy. What we have to understand is that regardless of if it's matriarchal or patriarchal, the man's role is still the man's role. The only thing that's in certain matriarchal communities, the females make decisions on things going on in the community, but men are still supposed to protect, defend, hunt and kill for food, provide. The men are still supposed to provide. Matriarchy doesn't take away from fatherhood. Men are still head of household in those matriarchal cultures. And that's what the Manosphere doesn't understand, because they have not studied globally what matriarchy and patriarchy is. They think patriarchy is just reduced to a man automatically being in a position of being head of household and dictating everything that goes on in the household. Even in most patriarchal families and patriarchal cultures, men do not dictate, as far as totalitarianism, to their wives and family. Most don't. Some do. Most don't. Aha! I'm glad you said that, high pre-empress. That's another thing. And you're so right about this one. Many of these people are low-key promoting homosexual lifestyles. It is so visible that it's scary. It's very scary. I have seen numerous situations where I have heard the men, particularly men, but I'm starting to hear from the women. When you have people trying to devalue sexual attraction, that the act of having sex, you have people trying to devalue the pleasure of a woman, when you got women claiming they don't need and they don't need a man for this and the vibrator suits me just fine, or they are when they talk about women as a woman, you're joyful and happy, and then we start talking about men, you're all mad and depressed and upset and ready to kill somebody. And the men, we talk about men, you all upbeat. Then we talk about women, you have a negative affect. That shows signs of that. It doesn't sound like heterosexuality to me. What's up, Stefan? Appreciate that. No remix way, God. Stefan is not promoting homosexuality. And Stefan has never did that in this community. He's never done that. If anything, Stefan talked about why he left the lifestyle and he gave his testimonial of why he chose the lifestyle that he has. And even if Stefan chose to be homosexual, that's his business. I'm not here to tell him how to live. I'm not here to do that. I am not here to tell anybody how to live. Now, as far as Lennon Honor and Gerald Palmer, I'm not about people lying. There's a difference between lying. I'm not about people lying, lying about them liking one thing, but they really want another one. Remix Way Like God saying Stefan lied about Lennon. No, he didn't. How did he lie? I saw the picture myself of Lennon dropping it like it's hot. I saw that for myself. T Pre says this needs to be talked about so much more, but people are afraid to discuss these things in our deal not to offend someone. In order to not offend someone. Right. My thing is I don't care. I'm beyond the offending. I'm about the truth. The truth should never offend anybody. Accept the truth. The truth is the truth. I'm not about discouraging the truth. It's just the truth. I don't know what to say about that. But these are the talks I'm going to be having, chopping it up with y'all during the week when I can. I'm getting ready to wrap up in a little bit. But I'm just tired of hearing people, particularly the younger people. And there's so many sectors of people lying about relationships. And these people that are talking about the relationship, these are people who've never been married or had. There's a guy that I know in the Manosphere right now. This man been married 5 times. And he go around jumping from panel to panel, been in the military, nigga been married 4 or 5 times and want to tell everybody about marriages. Then you got people who ain't never been married in their life. They got men that I know on in YouTube right now haven't had a date in 5 years. There are men right now, they have not been sexual. They have not touched a woman, kissed a woman, hugged a woman, took a woman on a date in 2 to 3 years. But you're talking about relationships. I don't get it. And then the minute they see me, they take out running. They don't want to, oh, no, that's D. Durrell. Oh, yeah. I'm like, really? I'm not about the trauma bonding. I'm not sitting here, and the women too, because I'm starting to get fucking irritated at some of these women that got content in the black womansphere, whatever you want to call the sector, the black women's sector, and they constantly talking, they blaming men for every goddamn thing, and they try to make it seem like they just perfectly wrapped together, and they ain't make one mistake in their life. Photo DNA. Photon. I don't think Stefan has an agenda. Stefan chooses to be open about himself and his life. If y'all don't believe, if y'all don't want to agree with that, I mean, I understand that, but he don't have to do that. What if he said nothing? I mean, how much? I mean, what do y'all want him to do? He already did something that was very difficult. He made the decisions for himself or how he wanted to live, and he's fine with that. So I'm just saying, guys. It's just I'm like, man, I'm gonna keep talking about this. I'm going to talk about these relationships, the dysfunctional ass situations people put themselves in, and then you want to get on YouTube blaming the other person. Dysfunctional relationships, and then you're blaming other people for your mistakes, for your shortcomings, for your lack of. There were people mad at me in the Manosphere because they claim I cape for women no matter what. No, I cape for women when you're saying information is not true. I never said women were not at fault of anything. But when you have incel-like mindset, you don't understand, you can't differentiate between the two. So, but yeah, guys, I just wanted to chop it up with you. I see everybody in there. What's up, Seth Marie? Photo on DNA say, is he trolling or for real? Is his effeminate tone real or troll? All right, stop, Photon. Stop it. Y'all getting on this stuff, man. I'm going to say this, and I know for some of y'all, to me, Stargate shouldn't be talking about relationships. And I like Stargate. But some of the stuff that Stargate is saying, particularly as it pertains to Corey and his wife, I think that those things are basically out of bounds and it's unnecessary. Like the things that that's an example. Stargate has said some things in regards to how, because she sees relationships as exploitive, domineering from the men. It's a power struggle. Nothing from what she says is about collaborative interaction. Now, I love Stargate. I like her a lot. She cool. We've had issues. We resolved them, but I'm still gonna be like, hey, I don't agree with the things she say about how Corey was supposed to do. Is if Corey disallowing his wife to be on a panel was somewhat oppressive. This was a man who put his foot down and told his wife, get your ass off the internet. I would do the same thing. Matter of fact, I wouldn't even allow my wife. I was like, no, my wife watches. She may be watching right now. But if my wife was on YouTube and I felt like I didn't like what she was saying or doing, I'm making her get off. Period. And what happens is that a lot of women who have suffered, and this is men too, who have suffered failures of relationships, they go from one end of the pendulum to the other, in which they went where they allowed men to do things and they were this certain way. Now they're going to go to the direct opposite. But the thing about it, when you have no flexibility, you will yield the same results. Whether you become naturally submissive or intensely conflictual. Those are both one end of the polarities, and they will yield the same result: failed relationship. You have to have some middle ground. You have to have some flexibility to wiggle. Right now, like for me, the way I do things, there are things like, say for instance, I'm getting ready to get some wooden floors. We did the upstairs, now we're getting ready to we did the downstairs, we're getting ready to do the upstairs. And really be honest with you, when it comes to the home is my wife's domain. I don't tell my wife what to cook and how to cook. I don't tell my wife how to decorate and organize the house. Now, the only thing I'm going to discuss is how much it's going to cost. That's the only thing. I deal with the financial aspects, put a budget. But as far as I know, that's my wife's domain. I'm not going to get in there and tell my wife how to reorganize shit, how to place this, that, because that's what women, that's what they like. That's what she likes. I understand in our marriage or in a relationship, there are things that men need to stay the hell out of. Let women be women. Women let men be men. T. Pre just gave an example. My boo asked me to fall back from YouTube, and I humbly was obliged. That's a good man. Exactly. He just asked you, hey, I want you to do that. But when you got something like, well, I'm a woman and we equal, and when a man trying to tell me what to do, he trying to control you. No, he not. He just asking you respectfully, hey, I think that, and to be honest with you, if a man is doing that, he's doing that for a reason, and he's also doing it because he may see some things that you may not notice about you and your behavior or your time. Period. And it's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with a man as a leader looking out in the best interest for his woman, and even for me. There are times when I'm told you need to fall back, or you need to do this and do that, and I take it into consideration. I make a decision to do it because I understand that my wife is looking out for my best interest. It's not a sense of controlling. But when you look at a relationship as a power struggle, you're going to find yourself alone. And I don't want to hear this thing about, I'm happy being alone. No, you're not. We're not designed to be happy to be alone. But shock and raw, relationships don't involve arguing. You don't have to argue forever. High Pre-Emperor said, I'm glad you were able to call out wrong despite lady or gentleman. Yeah, it goes both ways. See, what y'all don't understand, like, and this is another issue I had, being in the Manosphere and so forth, still there. And this is why I don't get on as many panels as I do, because I'm tired of hearing the one-sidedness of which there's either right or wrong, and the people who are always talking about what's wrong with the opposite sex are never willing to say what's wrong with themselves. As a therapist, I focus on the self. If you come into me with a whole bunch of problems about how everybody's treating you, my question will be about how are you treating other people? How are you treating other people? Because there is a direct relationship between how you treat people versus how they treat you. Singleness is way better than dysfunction. That's true. But you can still be dysfunctional and single. Just because you're single don't mean you're not dysfunctional. You can be single and dysfunctional. That's why you're going to stay single. I would encourage people not to get in toxic relationships just to not be single. I would say sometimes you may need to be single to work on yourself and reflect on things for a certain period of time. But I don't agree with people staying single for fucking 10 months to a year and a half. When I say take time for yourself, I'm thinking 3 to 6 months. When you start saying stuff about taking a year off and all that is you're not designed for that. And I know there are women that do that. And a lot of women who do that all right, I'm back. So most that may not always happen. You have to look at what is best for you in a situation. But I'm not one to tell someone to be celibate for a year, 2 years, and 3 years. That's crazy. Because what you're gonna do is you're going to intensify your urges and your perception, your irritability is going to kick in, your rationality is going to be somewhat hypersensitive. You're not designed for that. We're social beings and we're sexual beings. You're designed to have sex, you're designed to be with somebody. We're not designed to be alone. We're not. So, guys, I'm about to get out of here. I have a session I have to attend to. I got a session and then I'm going to chop it up with you all later. You have a great day. Peace.